Hey guys, we are out here today shooting two giants of the industry, two very popular guns. We have the Glock 43 and 9mm, and we have the Shield M&P 9mm, going mono mono, whatever that means. And we are going to put these through the test, do a little tabletop review, do some shooting, and try to give you guys some good information if you're about to buy one of these, or maybe if you just want to brag to your friend if you have the better gun or not. And just before we start, one more thing, this is just our opinion. This is just two examples that we have. Your mileage may differ, but we're going to try to give you the best information that we can, the most honest information we can, and help you, if you're about to go buy something, to have a little bit more information and make a better decision. So it's going to be fun. Let's get at it. Okay, so we're looking at the Glock 43 versus the M&P Shield 9. These are both single stack 9mm handguns, as opposed to a double stack of 9mm or a double stack of rounds. And what that pretty much means is these guns are lighter and they're thinner, which is great for concealment, great for carrying. But the downside of that means that they're lower capacity. So we're talking about prices. At our local gun shop, the Glock 43 is about $460, and they have M&P for around $400. It's really about a $60, $80, $100 difference sometimes when you're looking at the M&P and the Glock 43. Both these guns are designed to be concealed carried. Both these guns are designed to be very thin, which if you're new to concealed carry is huge. The thickness of the gun, and also not only the thickness, but the dimensions this way make a big difference. If you have a really long grip, it's going to be a lot harder to conceal. The barrel length doesn't matter quite so much, but this length does matter. And both these pass with flying colors. They also are both lightweight. They're both very lightweight, both very good shooters, but a lot of similarities, but there are some differences, and we'll kind of talk about those. But first off, let's talk about why you would buy these. Okay, so we just mentioned concealed carry. That is one of the biggest reasons. It's what they're designed for. Okay, what else? Maybe if you want to leave a gun in your truck or your briefcase or whatever it is, maybe, I don't know, put one in your bug out bag. These would be a great lightweight option. If you're going to have a bug out bag, you're going to be on the move, and both these guns are going to be really good for that because they're so light, but they're still a 9mm. They still pack a decent punch. One of the things that, I don't know, if you could only have one gun, if you're only buying, if this is your first gun, this is a great home defense gun because it is a gun and it is a 9mm, and that'll do a lot of damage. It's great protection for you and your family. But if this number one purpose of this gun is going to be home defense, I probably would recommend something different, simply because of the low capacity count. So there's other guns at this price point at $450 for the Glock 43. There's a lot of other guns like the new CZP-10 coming out, the SR9. There's a ton of different guns that are very reliable at that $400 price point that you could get that would be a better home defense. But concealed carry is what these things were designed for, and they're fantastic at that. So, all right, so one of the things that is big if you're concealed carrying is weight. Okay, you want a light gun. If you put a 40-ounce 1911 on your hip every single day, it adds up. Trust me, I've tried to carry all sorts of different guns in my life, and I'm not the biggest guy. So weight on that hip or weight on that ankle or weight wherever it is makes a big difference. So the lighter, the better for concealed carry. Okay, and one of the things that gives the Glock a little check mark is that it weighs in right at 17.9 ounces. Which is really light, very lightweight for a 9mm. There are definitely other ones that are a lot lighter, like the Kel-Tec PF9 or whatever, but this is a little bit lighter than the M&P. The M&P comes in right around 21 ounces almost, about 20.8, and like I said, those 2-3 ounces, they do make a difference. When it's on your hip, you can tell. Maybe not for a minute or two, it doesn't matter, but if you're going to carry these guys 24 hours a day, which is what they're designed for, the lighter weight does win. And so yeah, so the next thing with that light weight, unloaded of course, you also get as you can tell here, a shorter grip, which means one less round in the magazine. The Glock 43 holds 6+1 and the Shield holds 7+1. Now that's not a huge deal when you're looking at either one of these guns, because both of them have great aftermarket parts, great aftermarket accessories available, meaning that you can get +1, +2, +3, +4 base plate to add on to the bottom of your magazine for the Glock 43, and you could put, I don't know, what is that, 10+1 in your Glock 43. Now it's going to make it a lot longer. But same thing with the Shield. There's so many different accessories because these are both such popular handguns that you could get different base plates and extend that capacity. Okay, so not a huge deal, but out of the box, you're going to get 6+1 for the Glock and a little bit better 7+1 for the M&P, which is a check mark for the Smith & Wesson. Okay, so next up, we're going to talk about ergonomics, the controls, how these things feel in the hand, how they shoot, stuff like that. And this is where me and the other guys here at RMA Arms are a little bit divided. Me and I actually was talking to my wife last night. We both really love the way the Glock feels in the hand. You kind of got to get used to the grip angle a little bit. If you're new to Glocks, they're a little bit different. But to me, the Glock just feels like money. I just love the way it feels in my hand. And speaking of which, I also love the trigger. Okay, the trigger on the Glock, like I said, these things have been safety checked. But the trigger on the Glock just feels great to me. Maybe that's because I've owned lots of Glocks in my life, and I only own one M&P M&P 45. But the reset and the trigger on the Glock 43 is fantastic. It's about 6 pounds or 7 pounds, something like that, 5.5 pounds, somewhere in there. But the overall feel of the Glock 43 is better to me than the Shield. But I'm telling you, the way it feels in your hand is probably going to be completely different than the way it feels in mine. That does not mean that the Shield 9 does not feel well, does not feel good in my hand. This thing feels great, and it's the dimensions of it are great. The mag release is easy to get to. The way it breaks down is really easy. Slide this back, switch that forward, and you can take down the gun very simple. I'm not going to do it right now, but both these guns are very easy to maintain, very easy to take apart. The controls are great. I will say this. I wish that the Glock had sights like the M&P. I don't know if you guys can see these, but these sights are way better on the M&P. They're metal instead of polymer, but really it's just the design of them. The 3-dot compared to this weird bar is, I like the 3-dot way better. I was way more accurate with this, I would say. I mean, not way more, but I could definitely hit easier with this today while we were shooting than the Glock. So I really do love the sights. And the trigger, you hear a lot of bad stuff about the M&P trigger. A lot of people talk about it. But to be honest with you, it's not that bad. I am a fan of it, actually, after shooting with this for a day. This is way better than my early generation M&P 45. I really kind of fell in love with this thing today, the M&P Shield. So they're both great guns when it comes to ergonomics. So next thing is reliability. If you're going to have a concealed carry gun or a home defense gun, you want both these guns, you want your guns to be 100% reliable. If your life's depending on it, God forbid you should have to use one of these things, you want it to be reliable. And that's what both of these guns are. When you're buying a good name brand like Glock and M&P, that's what you expect. But I've put actually thousands of rounds through this, and we put over 200 rounds through the M&P today, and both of them using some pretty crappy ammo. Actually, we used just some stuff that we picked up from Walmart today, some Winchester, some tool ammo, some what else did we use? Some aluminum case Federal ammo, and some SIG hollow points. Both of these worked 100% reliable. Okay, we did not have one hiccup with either one of these guns. They fed the crappiest ammo we could find. They fed hollow points. I've shot a lot of Federal HSTs through this. I've shot all kinds of different ammo through my Glock 43. Both of them were spot on, dead accurate, as you would expect from a modern handgun like this. But yeah, so if you're looking for something reliable, something easy to carry, both of these are fantastic options. And yeah, so the last thing to talk about, the last bullet point here, is our overall opinion. What did we find out today at RMA Arms? How do we feel? If you're going into the store to buy one of these right now, if you're sitting in the parking lot watching this video or something, which one of these do you buy? Okay, this is a very tough decision because they're both fantastic. They really are. I would be happy carrying either one of them. In my opinion, this is what it comes down to. I would say if you're really tight on money, I would go with the M&P, simply because it does everything the Glock does. It even holds one more round, stock, which I know can be changed. But out of the box, I think that's just a great choice for the money. This is a fantastic concealed carry gun, and honestly, I would be very happy carrying that every day. Now, having said that, if you go into the gun store and you hold both of these, or if you go to a range where maybe you can rent both of these or whatever, and you can shoot them both, I would highly recommend that. And if you feel the Glock 43 and you just fall in love with the way it feels, kind of like I did, I would go with the Glock. If you like the gun, you're going to shoot it. If you're going to shoot it, you're going to get better at it. If you're going to get better at it, you're going to be safer and you're going to be a better carrier. All right, guys, I guess that kind of wraps everything up. We really appreciate you guys tuning in and checking it out, and we're open to suggestions. You know, if you have an opinion on your gun, on your whatever you think is best, let us know. You know, we'd love to check it out. And any questions about either one of these firearms, we'll try to stick around for a few days and look around at the comments and see if we can help anybody out. And if you have a review that you want to see coming up over the next few videos, we're open to some suggestions, and we'll see you guys soon. Thanks.